Hello students, welcome back to our second lecture. I hope you have completed your first lecture with your notes and you are ready for the second lecture. In last lecture we have seen the definition of transducers, what are the electrical and mechanical transducers, advantages, disadvantages of the transducers, and after that we have started the classification of transducers and we have seen active and passive transducers. Now we are going ahead for the next classification, that is analog transducer. Now analog transducer converts input signal which is a continuous function of time. So this type of transducers only convert analog signal to the respective signal, and that respective signal is an electrical signal only. So there are some examples of this type of transducers, and those are thermistor, strain gauge, LVDT and thermocouple. Next one is digital transducer. Digital transducer, as we have seen that in analog transducer converts analog or continuous signal to the respective signal. In this type of signal or transducer, it will convert digital signals or pulsative signal to the output. Okay, these transducers are becoming more popular. Sometimes analog transducer combined with ADC. Its full name is analog to digital converter. Sometimes analog transducer combined with ADC and is called digital transducers. What ADC does? ADC does just it converts analog to digital signal. It will convert analog from analog to digital, and this complete phenomenon is known digital transducers. Examples are encoders and Hall effect sensors. Next, primary transducers. When input signal is directly sensed by transducer and physical phenomenon is converted into electrical or directly, then such transducers called primary transducers. These transducers have no external circuitry to convert sensed unit to another unit or sensed quantity to another quantity. It will directly convert input signal to output signal. There is no external or extra circuitry to convert input to output. That transducers only does that. Clear? So whenever input signal is directly sensed by transducer, this is input signal, it is sensed by this transducer and directly converted into the output without any external circuitry, then this type of transducer are called as primary transducers. Now example is thermistor. We will check this thermistor in this chapter later on. Now secondary transducers, this is exactly opposite than that those primary transducers. When input signal is directly sensed by some sensor, then before the output there is some circuitry. Clear? This circuitry is converting the sensed input of this transducer, and it will process on it and will give you an output. Clear? Examples are LVDT, which is used to measure the pressure and force, and it is connected with Bourdon tube. LVDT cannot sense pressure or force directly. We need one another phenomenon or one another equipment, that is called Bourdon tube. We need an extra thing to calculate the pressure That is why this type of transducers are secondary transducers. Now another type is transducer, or it is also called electric transducers. Another name of transducers is electric transducers. So we have seen that an electric transducers convert non-electrical quantity to electrical quantity. It converts non-electrical quantity to electrical quantity. Examples are thermocouple, pressure gauge, strain gauge, and solar cells. Inverse transducers, it is opposite than those of transducers. It converts non-electrical or mechanical quantity into electrical quantity. It converts mechanical quantity to electrical quantity. It is a precision actuator having an electrical input and low power non-electrical output. So in some we can say we are giving electrical input and we are getting non-electrical output. A most useful application of inverse transducer is in feedback measurement. So we can say that we are using, okay, what is feedback? In last semester you have seen that in amplifier circuit you were using feedback circuit. There are two types of feedback, positive feedback and negative feedback. This is that type of feedback only. Whatever feedback we are getting here, that is given to the reference, and because of that plus or minus it will give to the input of the circuit. Next point, classification based on the measurement. The first one is displacement transducer, a device which converts linear or angular motion in electrical output signal is called displacement transducer. A device which converts linear or angular displacement in electrical output is called displacement transducers. Examples are LVDT, RVDT and gyroscope. Have you seen gyroscope? That is nothing but in right now in mobiles you get a compass. In compass, whenever you just swing your mobile like this, at that time your gyroscope will be calibrated, and when you put your mobile like this, at that time it will show you the direction north, south, east and west. That is the gyroscope. Second, pressure or force transducer, a device which measures pressure or force. Those transducers are force transducers or pressure transducers that converts pressure or force into the electrical output. The examples are strain gauge, piezoelectric transducers and Bourdon transducers. Next point is temperature transducers. In temperature transducers, it measures its temperature as its name indicates. It converts temperature signals into electrical output signals. Those transducers are temperature transducers. For examples, RTD, thermocouples, thermistors. RTD's full name is resistor temperature detector. Next point is flow transducers, a device which converts flow, whether it is air flow or liquid flow, we don't care. But whenever flow is converted in electrical output signal is known as flow transducers. Examples are ultrasonic flow meter and hot wire anemometer. Next topic is resistive transducers. Resistive transducers are the transducers which works on the primary principle of resistive principle. Its primary principle is resistive principle. Like in 12th or in your previous semester you have learnt about potentiometer. The potentiometer converts or it works on the resistive principle, division of the resistance, division of the voltage. So wherever you include the resistive part of the circuit, that type of transducers are known as the resistive transducers. Examples are potentiometer, strain gauge, RTD, thermistors, hot wire, anemometer. In all these type of transducers, if you have seen that these two are temperature transducers. We have seen earlier in this lecture only. These resistive transducers change their resistance when they are under the impact of the temperature. We have seen that in 12th science only. Clear? So whenever there is a change in resistance, you can say the measured quantity can be changed accordingly. Inductive transducers are transducers which converts which works on the inductive principle is known as inductive transducers. Here is some examples of inductive transducers: LVDT, RVDT and synchro. Next point is capacitive transducers. A transducer which works on the capacitive principle is known as capacitive transducer. Here I have made some mistake. It is capacitive transducer. So there are some examples, which is one of them is capacitor microphone. Okay, so we are going ahead to the main topics of this chapter, and first topic is resistive position transducer. So what is the resistive position transducer? Okay, before we start this topic, I want to ask you something. Okay, resistance is dependent on temperature or not? If yes, then your answer is correct. Clear? If yes, then your answer is correct, because whenever you change the temperature, yes, there is a simple formula: R of t, RT equals to R0 in bracket 1 plus alpha t. This type of equation we have seen in earlier or previous semesters. On these equations, whenever you change your temperature from your reference temperature, there will be a change in the resistance, and this type of transducers works on this type of principle. Even there is another formula too: R equals to rho L by A. If somehow you change the resistivity, or you change the length, or you change the area of the wire or resistive element, then you can say that you easily change the resistance of that element. Yes, resistive position transducer can work either of the principle. So let's go ahead. Resistive transducers used to sense displacement, mechanical strain, pressure, force and temperature. So there is the application of resistive position transducers, and you can see that it is used to measure displacement, mechanical strain, pressure, force and temperature. Next point, resistive transducers are preferred over other transducers because AC and DC both are suitable for resistance measurement. Yes, I just have told you that there is an equation R equals to rho L by A. With this equation you can see that if you change resistivity or you change the length or you change the area of the sensing element, then you can say that the resistance of that substance can be changed. With the resistive transducer, you can use that transducer with both of the power supply, AC or DC. Whatever you use, it is compatible. Next point, variation in resistance caused by changing any one of these quantity rho, L and A. For measurement of displacement or pressure, length is varied. Whenever if you want to measure the displacement or pressure, see, I am giving an example. This is the material or resistive element. If I want to measure the pressure, I am giving pressure over here. Because of the pressure, this side is going like this, and because of that, length of this resistive element is decreased. Because of that, you can say that ultimately your resistance of that resistive material is changed. Now, if we are talking about the temperature, then I have told you that whenever there is a change in temperature, then resistance will be changed, and this change is due to R equals to R0 1 plus alpha T. In resistive position transducers, the transduction mechanism are based on the change in resistance caused by the sensing element. Now, I have told you that whenever you are just measuring the temperature or you are measuring the force or pressure, at that time either resistivity or length of that resistive element will be changed. This change causes the change in the resistance. Hence, change in resistance and voltage drop is related to the position or displacement. Here you can see that there is a figure. This is one solenoid. I am telling this is the solenoid, this is the shaft, and this is the wiper. Okay. Now A and B are the supply terminals, and I am giving the DC supply over here. Clear? Now what I have to do? I have to do is just move this shaft like this. Here, if I am putting my shaft over here, then in the output I will get maximum voltage. Okay. If I am putting my shaft over here, then I will get minimum voltage. Now, this type of resistive position transducers works on the principle of voltage divider rule that I am going to explain in next point. Clear? Okay. Now current will pass from here. Here this terminal or this turn is connected here. So current will come like this, pass like this, and from here it will go like this, and the circuit will be completed. The very easy circuit is given over here. You can see the resistive part is here and this part is the battery part. This part is the shaft part and wiper part, from where you get the output voltage. The displacement transducers consist of resistive elements A and B with wiper C linked with the object. For measurement of displacement or pressure, length is varied. Here you can see that whenever I just give a pressure, because of the pressure this shaft moves towards downward, or if I just remove the pressure, this shaft moves upward. And because of that, the position of shaft, whereas variation in temperature causes the change in the resistivity. In resistive position transducers, the transduction mechanisms are based on the change in resistance caused by the sensing element. Hence, change in resistance and voltage drop is related to the position displacement. Here you can see that the resistance and voltage drop is related. Here if you see, if this much is only connected, then resistance of that party will be small, and this is the non-connected branch, so resistance of this branch is high because there are more turns are accommodated. So if I say the resistance is RAC and resistance is RBC, then you can see like that. The displacement transducers consist of resistive element AB with wiper C linked and object. RBC is the resistance between B and C, depends on the position of the object. From figure, we can say output voltage V0 depends on the slider position. V0 equals to V RBC plus RBC plus RAC. Here I would like to explain you this transducer with some animated part. See here, this is the circuitry of the resistive transducer. Here this is the shaft, it moves upward or downward. When it is at the lowest point, it will give zero output, and at maximum point it will give you full output. It moves like this, and between these you can get the output voltage. When this shaft is in between or at point X, as I have shown you in this figure, at that time you can say that the next part or remaining part is 1 minus X. Suppose the whole resistance of AB resistance is R, then we can say E output, whatever I have told you now, that voltage divider rule that we are going to apply over here. E out will be R of X divided by R into X plus R into 1 minus X into E. Now, how voltage divider rule will be applied, that I would like to tell you. Output voltage will be equal to the applied voltage into the branch across which you want to find the output voltage divided by the whole resistance of that branch. Clear? Now E out will be given like this. Just simplify and you will get X into E. Both the formula whatever I have given before this animated video, and in this animated video both are correct, where x is the displacement, E is input voltage, and transducer output is proportional to the displacement. So here we can say that the output voltage is just proportional to the displacement. Now let's see the advantages of the resistive position transducer. First one is efficiency. This one is efficiency. Efficiency of this transducer is high. Second, no need of an amplifier because output voltage is sufficiently high. Third one is you can use with the both of power supply AC and DC. Now disadvantages. So first one is because of mechanical friction between wiper and resistance element AB, the life is limited. Because of the friction there is wear and tear of wiper and that shaft, and because of that lifespan of that element is less. Second, it becomes noisy as element wears out. It start creating noise when elements is weared out. So here we are just stopping, and next we are going to take one more transducer in next lecture. I hope you complete all your notes by today only and start revising the previous topics, and so it will be easy for you to understand next topics. Thank you so much.